Hello, little learners. Welcome back to our learning space. My name is Miss Laura. Can you tell me your name? Oh, I'm so excited that you made it back today. Today is Tuesday and another fun day of learning. Let's start our morning off with our good morning song. So here we go. Ready, Miss Maria? Good morning, it's a sunshine kind of day. Come join Miss Laura for some learning and some play. Will we sing a song? Of course we will. Make our brains strong, like super strong. So come along. Yes, come on, friends, for some learning and some play. All right, Miss Maria, what do we have planned for today? So yesterday, if you remember, we started reading our book, The Little Engine That Could. Do you remember that fancy new word that we introduced? Perseverance. That's right. That means keeping going even when things get hard. I want you to practice that all week long. Well, today we're going to read our book again, except I'm going to do it here live in the studio. So if you have your copy, get it and we can read it together. We're going to see what our letter says today, work on one of our foundational skills. Today we're going to sort letters and numbers and shapes from each other. And then I have a project that you can do at home to extend the learning. Does that sound like a good plan? Okay, so right now I think I hear it's our doorbell. That means we have mail. So let's see, here's our letter. And of course, we're going to start reading on the left and slide to the right. This is the left. This is the right. When we read, we slide to the left and move to the right. It says, Dear Miss Laura, did you hear about the little engine that could? We did. We watched that video story yesterday, so we did hear about it. What a great example of perseverance. That's right. That's a great example of you can really believe that you can do something and then you try it and get it done after practice. That means doing something even when it gets hard. That is what it means, isn't it? Now, I think Miss Maria left me the book here that we can read together. The Little Engine That Could by Watty Piper. That's the author of the story. And it's celebrating its 90th year anniversary. That means it was written 90 years ago. That's a long time. This book was illustrated by Dan Santat. Now, I want you to remember that name because next week we're going to read a story that was also illustrated by Dan Santat. He's pretty famous. Little Engine That Could. This is a little bit longer of a book, so settle in, grab a book buddy so you can read with me. Here we go. Chugga, 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 puff, puff, ding dong, ding dong. The little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy little train, for she had a jolly load to carry. Her cars were filled with good things for boys and girls. There's the little engine. There were toy animals, giraffes with long necks, teddy bears with almost no necks at all, and even a baby elephant, a pink baby elephant. Then there were dolls, dolls with blue eyes and yellow curls, dolls with brown eyes and brown bobbed heads, and the funniest little toy clown you ever saw. And there were cars full of toy engines, airplanes, tops, jackknives, picture puzzles, books, and every kind of thing boys and girls could want. Now, do you remember I told you this book was written 90 years ago? Almost, maybe a little longer. In this story, they have jackknives for boys and girls. Back when this book was written, it was okay for that to happen. Nowadays, we would not play with knives. But that was not all. Some of the cars were filled with all sorts of good things for boys and girls to eat. Big golden oranges, red-cheeked apples, bottles of creamy milk for their breakfast, fresh spinach for their dinners, peppermint drops and lollipops for after-meal treats. My favorite is the lollipops. The little train was carrying all these wonderful things to the good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain. She puffed along merrily. Can you puff along merrily? Chugga, 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 chugga. Poof, poof. Then all of a sudden she stopped with a jerk. That means she stopped suddenly. She simply could not go another inch. She tried and she tried, but her wheels would not turn. So if you can see, the little engine has a very sad face. What were all these good little boys and girls on the other side of the mountain going to do without the wonderful toys to play with and good food to eat? Oh, good thing. Here comes a shiny new engine, said the funny little clown who jumped out of the train. Let's ask him to help us. So there's the shiny new engine. Now, if you remember from yesterday, does that shiny new engine help? So all the dolls and toys cried out together, please, shiny new engine, won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine is broken down and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or good food to eat unless you help us. But the shiny new engine snorted. Snort means, You go like that. Can you snort with me? Go, I pull you. I am a passenger engine. I have just carried a fine big train over the mountain with more cars than you've ever dreamed of. My train has sleeping cars with comfortable berths, a dining car with waiters that bring hungry people whatever they want, and parlor cars in which people sit in soft armchairs and look out of big plate glass windows. I pull the likes of you? Indeed not. So the shiny new engine thinks it's too good to pull the little engine, And off steams to the roadhouse that engine went. How sad the little train and all the toys felt. Can you make a sad face? Oh, it's so sad. But then the little clown called out, the passenger train is not the only engine in the world. Here's another engine coming, a great, big, strong one. Let's ask him to help us. So little toy clown waved his flag, and the big, strong engine came to a stop. So there's the big, strong engine. Look how tall and strong it looks. Now, what do you think? Is this big, strong engine going to help? So, of course, the dolls and toys together said, please, oh, please, big engine, would you please pull your train over the mountain? Our engine is broken down, and the good little boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or food to eat unless you help us. But the big, strong engine said, I am a freight engine. I have just pulled a big train loaded with big machines over the mountain. These machines print books and newspapers for grown-ups to read. I am a very important engine. I pull the likes of you. Indeed not, said the strong engine. So once again, the little train was very sad. But the toy clown said, cheer up, here comes another train. He looks very old and tired, but our train is so little, perhaps he can help us. So here comes the old train. Chugga, 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 chugga. The little toy clown waved his flag, and the rusty old engine stopped. Please, kind engine, please, cried all the boys and dolls and toys together. Won't you please pull our train over the mountain? Our engine is broken down, and the boys and girls on the other side won't have any toys to play with or any good food to eat unless you help us. What do you think the rusty old engine said? He said, I am so tired. My wheels are weary. I can't pull you over the mountain. I cannot, I cannot, I cannot. And off he went. Now the train was stuck. How was he going to get over the mountain? It was a very, very sad story. But the little clown called out, "There's another engine coming. A little blue engine, a very little one. Maybe she can help us." The very little engine came, chugga, 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 chugging merrily along. And when she saw the toy clown's flag, she stopped quickly. "What is the matter, my friend?" she asked kindly. "Oh, little blue engine, will you please pull us over the mountain? Our engine has broken down, and the good little boys and the good little girls won't get their toys or food to eat unless we go over that mountain. Help us, please." The little blue engine said, "I'm not very big. They use me only for switching trains in the yard, and I've never been over a mountain, but I guess I can try." So she said, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." And she hitched herself to the little train. She tugged and pulled and pulled and tugged, and slowly, slowly, they started off. Chugga, 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 chugga. The toy clown jumped aboard, and the dolls and the toy animals began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug. The little blue engine said, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." Up, up, faster and faster and faster, little engine climbed, until at the very last second, they reached the top of the mountain. Hooray! Applause! Down in the valley lay the city. So there they are, going to the top of the mountain. "Hooray, hooray!" cried the funny little clown and all the dolls and toys. "The good little boys and girls in the city will be happy because you helped us, kind blue engine." And the little blue engine smiled and seemed to say as she puffed steadily along, "I thought I could, I 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 thought I could." The end. So what did you think of that story? That little engine has a huge perseverance spot, doesn't he? Now, I wonder how our friend Sonia the snail is doing. I think she's working on perseverance too. Let's watch and see what she's doing right now. Exploring Feelings with Sonia the snail. Sonia Snail was struggling. She needed to learn to tie her shoes. All of the other students in her school knew how to tie their shoes. There was Hedgie Hedgehog, and Petunia Pig. She could tie her shoes with her eyes closed.
Yes!
Poor Sonia, she tried and tried and tried, but always ended up in a tangled mess. This made her feel frustrated. "What's wrong, Sonia?" said her aunt. "I can't tie my shoes and I'll never be able to. It's too hard. I can't do it and I can't do it." Sonia, when things are hard, you can push through. That's called having perseverance. Sometimes us grown-ups call that having grit. What? said Sonia. Perseverance, Sonia. It's when you keep going, even when you fail or make a mistake, because it's really important to you to get to the end. You can always ask for help. What's not okay is giving up. Sonia decided to keep trying. She kept trying and trying until one day she finally got it. She was so excited until she remembered one important thing. She didn't have any feet. Oh no! Sonia doesn't have any feet, huh? Wouldn't be helpful to learn how to tie her shoes, but I'm glad that she learned to stick to things. Now, one of the things that I want you to stick to as you go to school is learning to read. And one of the ways that you'll learn to read is by learning your letters, letter sounds, because that's what you find in books. So we have an activity here that's going to help you do that. I'm calling this game All Aboard the Letter Train. So you're going to help me sort what is a letter and what is not a letter. Are you ready? We're going to look at different ones, and if it's a letter, it's going to go on the train. So let's take a look at this. Is this a letter? I haven't seen this as a letter before. It's a heart. It's a shape, right? Does not go on the letter train. Sorry, no ticket for you. How about this? Have you seen this? Is this a letter? It is. It's the letter A, and that might be your special letter. So it's going to go on the train right there. Ooh, a little bit tricky because this has lines and curves as well. Do you recognize this? It's a number. It's the number 2, not a letter. Sorry. How about this? It's a shape. It's a crescent, not a letter, not used to make words. How about this tricky one? Is it a letter? Looks like a circle. Can a circle be a letter? Yes, this is the letter O. It looks just like a circle. It's also a letter. Let's put it on there. How about this guy? Is this a letter? No, it's a symbol. It means don't do that, not a letter. Let's squeeze over here for some more. How about this one? It has little lines, a big line, and another little line. It's the letter Z. That is a letter. There it goes on the train. And this one is a number. It's the number 5, not a letter. Let's do one more before we move on to our project. How about this guy? It has a little line and a big curve. Yes, it's the letter D. That is a letter. So if you want to continue practicing at home, one of the first ways that I start to learn letters with children is I have them sort what is a letter and what's a number or a shape or a symbol. Right now, we're going to move over to our project place because we're going to learn our letters through our names. So let's walk on over. Here we go. So I thought it'd be really fun to make a train craft with you this week. So here is what we're going to make. See, it has a little engine here and all its cargo, and it has letters. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You can have your child write the letters if that's where they are, or you can write the letters yourself as a parent and have them do a name puzzle and put them in the correct order. All right, let's see. The very first thing that we're going to do is create this engine part that's going to pull all of our cargo. So let's pull that together. I'm going to use different color paper, some glue, some tissue paper, and scissors for this project. So let's make it orange. I'm going to make kind of the engine part that's a fat kind of letter L, isn't it? So I'm going to start off by cutting out a square, and from that square, I'm going to cut another smaller square, just like this. Here we go. Ta-da! Of course, save your scraps. We always use those. Then I'm going to glue it on. I'm going to use a glue stick today, but you can use liquid glue as well. Here we go. Putting it on. There's the first part. And then I'm going to create the little triangle part that goes in the front, like this. I'm going to use some pink. Now, a triangle has 3 sides, doesn't it? I'm just going to cut a corner off of a square, and that should give me my 3 sides. So here we go, gluing it down, how to find the correct orientation or way that it goes. All right, here we are. Next part is going to need this little part. Now, if this is a steam engine, this would be where the steam comes out of. So I'm going to use, let's use this purple. So I'm going to make like a line with a little circle on top here. And then another line down. Here we go. There we are. And gluing it on. And then a window. Of course, we need a window. It's another rectangle, so lots of shapes. And of course, as you're making this, you can call out what shapes you're making, what colors you're using. It's so much more engaging than flashcards. To learn colors, shapes, letters, cutting skills, all kinds of things. So now let's make our cargo, which is our 4 rectangles for me, but yours, you might need more paper because you might have a longer name. So my letters are L-A-R-A for Laura. So I'm gonna stack some papers on top of each other. That's my secret trick. Thank you, Miss Coy, for that trick. And then I'm going to cut out a rectangle. Now a rectangle is kind of a longer side here and a shorter side here. It actually has 4 sides, just like a square, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I need 1, 2, 3. I need one more, Miss Laura. Get that one here. Let's use a purple. Here we go. You could make a pattern with this, practice patterns as well. Well, maybe I'll do that. Keep it extra fun. Another rectangle, and then make a pattern with my name as well. You can see how it's all integrated. Then we're going to glue that down. Here we go, another square rectangle. 1, 2, 3, and one more makes 4. So we brought in some addition. Now, when students are 4 years old, they really need this kind of concrete experience to learn abstract things like addition, subtraction, shapes, all of that. So as much as you're able, keep it to manipulatives and things that they can use. The next thing we're going to cut out is the wheels, and I'll show you how to add the steam as well. So I'm going to cut some rectangles out. I think I'm going to make, 8 wheels. Let's make 8 wheels. So I'm going to cut my rectangles out and then stack them on top of each other, just like so. All right, here we go with a circle. Circle all the way around. No sides, no corners, and voila. Here we go. We're going to put some glue here. Add our wheels, because how else is our train going to move, of course? Got to make it realistic looking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me cut out one more wheel just to make it look extra nice right here. We don't want to leave anybody out. 5. Here we go. Last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually 6. Last one. Now I'm going to show you how to make the little steam that's going to come out. Then we'll label our train. So I took a tissue paper. You can do this with cotton as well. And I'm separating the tissue paper like this and just cutting out a little cloud of smoke by tearing it up. Just like so. There we are. I like using tissue paper because it's transparent, so it almost looks like smoke when you glue it on the paper. All right, sticky finger alert. Glue it down like so. I'm gonna do a couple of them, so let's do one more. All right, tear it up. Here we go. Last one, we'll label it up and then we'll be all done. Now you can write your name on here. I'm going to write mine, Laura. L-A-R-A. I hope that you try this name activity. Isn't it fun? You can actually hang this and practice the letters of your name, and that'll be really helpful as you start school. All right, boys and girls, looks like it's time to say goodbye. So Miss Laura sends you a big squeeze and a big smooch, mwah, and reminds you to read and to play, to use your imagination and your 5 senses to be a scientist every day. We'll see you again tomorrow for more reading fun, so join me then. All right, goodbye, boys and girls.